when she was about 5 or 6
Yeah,
in school. They went around the room, and what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a nurse. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a paleontologist. What? She was always ahead of her time.
We had a cantor who bar mitzvahed me as well as the girls, and he was a pretty special guy. And she took a terrific liking to him, and he was a real inspiration for her. Probably the reason, one of the biggest reasons that she went to seminary and chose this career. Then she moved to Nashville to get original music, and she was there for about 12 years, 10 of which probably she was on the road with a group, with a band that she would put together. They would just hop into a van and literally tour the country, playing at colleges, and she did very well there. She was nominated for Entertainer of the Year in the college circuit several times. And then she got off the road, worked in Nashville for a bit in an alternate newspaper, and then came home to visit and decided to go into New York and made a visit to the Jewish Theological Seminary.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
She used to be very shy, and she wouldn't even let us hear her sing. She used to practice for the school plays up in her room, and we would hide at the foot of the stairs listening.
In high school, even junior high school, she loved the music, and she took voice lessons. I think she's been taking voice lessons since probably the 8th grade. And when she went to college, she was not a music major. She was an East Asian Studies major, and continued to take voice lessons and sing with an a cappella group at Yale. Then she went to New York because she wanted to sing. She was singing, as Nancy said, in the cabarets. She had to go through this journey that she went through to get there, because she went to seminary fairly late, as those things go.
Cantor Cohen and I come from the same small town in Pennsylvania, Easton. It is highly unlikely that we should end up here together. We grew up in the same synagogue. We did not grow up with the same rabbi. We grew up with the same cantor, Cantor Siegel. We both were trained for bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah with Cantor Siegel. She sang in the choir with Cantor Siegel. I did not.
I met Cantor Cohen at JTS. She had been a class or two behind me, so I met her when she came back from the year in Israel, and I had already been at JTS a little while. And she made a big splash when she arrived, because she had that whole Nashville background, and frankly, when I met her, I thought she was way too cool for me. So we became good friends through our time there.
So Cantor Cohen and I first met in Israel. And so we knew each other in Israel when we went back to New York at JTS, as I continued in rabbinical school and she continued on in cantorial school. We really got to be friendly within the community, and I always appreciated and enjoyed her davening at JTS when she would lead services there. And when I came to TBS, and TBS was looking for a cantor and there was interest in Cantor Cohen, I was thrilled, because it would mean that we're bringing on not only an excellent cantor, but also someone who is a good friend.
We wanted to bring her down here to work with us while she was still a student. We were between cantors, and we needed somebody to come several times over the course of the year, and of course for the holidays. And we approached the dean of the program there, and he said no. He wanted us, and fairly, to interview cantors who had graduated. And we did that. And we even made an offer to one of them. But fortunately, that person turned us down. We didn't want to take anybody who we would be taking as a second or a third choice. We wanted her. So we went back to the dean and we asked if, now that we had gone through a legitimate search, we could enter into this relationship while she was still a student and bring her here a couple times a month and then for the holidays. And again, he was reluctant. Yale is the one who helped us cut through that reluctance.
So I made a call to the seminary and I spoke to someone. I said, I'm about to do something I've never done before. I'm about to ask you for a favor. And I said, I want Jen Cohen. Got a phone call 10 o'clock the next morning. Said, you can have her, just don't overwork her. And Jen came here part-time for a couple of years. And then when she graduated, had to go through a formal process of hiring a cantor. And I said they asked if I would chair the committee. And I said, yeah, on one condition, if Jen Cohen takes the job.
Oh, Cantor Cohen was more than worth waiting for. Her voice, of course, sings for itself. And from the moment she stepped onto the bima, she charmed everybody with her voice. But it wasn't just her voice, it was her manner. She has a very gentle way of presenting herself on the bima. Although she plays in this program called The Divas on the Bima, she is not a diva by personality. By personality, she's a real team player.
One of the initiatives that Cantor Cohen worked on is iShare, our children's choir that has a wonderful repertoire of songs and performs around the community. It's also been wonderful too that she's been able to do it with the Daddy-O's, with Jamie Arking and Steph Bear.
She's an amazing davener, but she has this incredible sense of rhythm and this spirituality that she brings. She's like the people's cantor. She really makes it easy for people by picking congregational friendly keys and tempos.
I think during her time here, Cantor Cohen has really grown both in the way in which she works with our B'nai Mitzvah students, which she's always been very good at, but she's really honed her skills with that and really relates with our students so well over the course of that process for bar and bat mitzvah. And also to see the educational programs that she's developed here, such as Soul Sisters, which I know has a wonderful following and is a great way that she reaches out to many of the women in our congregation.
Cantor Cohen is our first female cantor that we've had here at Temple Beth Sholom. And I think that's an incredible example for young women to follow her lead. We're seeing our young girls for the first time wearing talit, laying tefillin, and they're watching her do that.
She connects with our children on their own level, not only by coming to our programs, our Shabbat, classroom Shabbats, but when she walks down the hall and a child sees her, they just beam.
I think she really, in so many ways, defines what it means to be a clergy person in today's world and to really serve on a clergy team. You can see in these moments where she gets up in these concert-like moments, and she could be on a Broadway stage if she wanted to be, but clearly she's made a decision that she wants to serve the Jewish community, and she truly does that with a tremendous love and a generosity of spirit.
While the rabbis are very inspirational and give very powerful sermons, it's the role of the cantor that really moves me. And it's the melodies of the prayers that strike a chord in my heart. And nobody does that better than CJC.
It's hard being a cantor. I mean, you want to lead a community, you want to teach a community, you want to teach a community to be passionate and spiritual all at the same time, all in front of a big room. That's not easy, and she does it really, really well.
When you think of Temple Beth Sholom, and you think of the many moments we've had, it's her voice that you hear. And she, in so many ways, is the voice of Temple Beth Sholom.